Are you ready to find peace in your heart? Of course you do. I'm Coach Easy, and welcome to the It's EaZy show. As an empowered empath, empowering mindsets, and confidence through adversity, I will help you connect and conquer. Listen in as we talk real about serious concerns in the world and learn how by working together we can make life amazing. You are the ultimate number one in your life, and that's why you can be whoever you want and do whatever you want without worrying what anyone else thinks. Why? Because it's easy with me, Coach Easy. I believe there is a path to an easier way, and having God in your life is the key. On this show, laughter is a promise, and music is the spiritual language. Because it's easy. Starts now. Howdy, folks. How we doing? Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. So this is the It's EaZy show, of course, with Coach Easy on the TTN Radio Transformation Network. I am in the process of what you would call writing or video, making a video of my story. I want to write a book here soon, and I don't know how long that's going to take me for sure, but I wanted to kind of go over some things about what I'm about. So I try to empower people, and that's because I was one that's what they call an empath, but didn't even know that. So that's not really the whole story, but mostly because I lacked confidence most of my life growing up, and it's held me back from so many things in life. And I know there's people maybe even a little worse than me. I had confidence when I was with certain people, friends, or you know what I mean. But I tell you what, empowering myself thanks to COVID and even a little bit before that, it's pretty much changed my life. I don't have stress. I don't have anxiety as much as I used to. It seems like even my depression's gone away, but that's also part of changing a little bit of your diet too. Vitamins make a big deal for that. The medicine that we take isn't always good for us. I'm not trying to tell you not to take it, but there's a lot of things that I have learned it too naturally that's benefited my life more than prescriptions. So it's not been a secret. I had a pain pill addiction after back surgery, lasted about 5 years. And so I've been kind of originally started this business, this coaching business, is to help youth, more like young adults, at least ones that want the help. But I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and I know I've got a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience, knowledge that I can help. And the reason I say that is because my dad, he passed away when I was really young. Well, 23, that's young. That's when a man's just becoming a man, right? And all I had pretty much was my mom, who was a rock star, and my friends, and then my sister on occasion. But mostly I was on my own. And I've always said this: I think men need a man, like a brother or a dad, somebody that they can always lean on, or somebody that can get in their ass when they're screwing up. Somebody that can give them support when they're doing well too. Every man needs a little bit of a acknowledgement that you're doing good. I think that's true, because if we don't get that, how do we know? You know what I mean? How do we know if we're doing well or if we're doing the right things? Friends ain't going to tell you that. Men tend to lean on their brother or a dad for advice like that. And so I want to be that person that maybe doesn't have that like I did. And I say, it started off as a business, and I'm really thinking about switching that over to a nonprofit, because I've also got a friend that wants to help. But I know that people aren't blind. They know we got a pandemic on our hands. There's this pain pill and heroin thing has gone way out of control. Of course, we know about the fentanyl and that kind of stuff. And why not me? I mean, I don't know who needs to, but we need to step up.
fight for everybody because adults between 18 and 43 are the biggest number. But I had a friend of my daughter's that died a couple of years ago from taking one pill that was laced with fentanyl. And I tell you what, nothing against the younger kids of these days, but they don't have the streetwise as some of us older Gen X people and stuff. I'm just being honest. We didn't grow up with phones. We had to learn a lot of things the hard way. And I think a lot of kids can use some of that direction. Mostly, like I said, the ones with maybe out a father or a male role model. But I can't help everybody. But if I can help some, then I'm doing my part. Now I got someone that wants to help me out. So we're going to try to put this thing together. But I thought I would tell a lot of my backstory first, kind of how I got to where we're at. But we're going to definitely try to take a little bite out of this heroin pandemic. Pain pills where it starts usually. And if I mean, the reason I know I can help is because I've been through the withdrawals. I've been through the agony and the misery. And I don't even think probably all therapists and we're not going to try to take the place of a drug treatment place. We're just going to be an extra and maybe try to get some people into that or give them personal help after all that. Because once you go through it all, for me, I went through it cold turkey by myself. I had my ex-wife helping me. But even if you go through treatment, it's what happens when you get out of treatment. Do you continue with going to like AA meetings and stuff, And I'm here, I want to kind of help somebody do that. Kind of a sponsor type thing. But also, without just that, I want to help people get to that point. I helped one gal a while back, probably 2 years ago, get into treatment. Felt bad for her. She kind of got hooked on heroin because of her ex, who is now in prison. But he kind of got her started and then went to prison. And then she was left hanging, and I felt so sorry for her. It's like almost like a daughter. And so a friend of mine, I ordered her some stuff from Amazon just so she could get some clothes. And my friend who lived in the same town had him deliver them to her at the treatment place. And she had told my friend that I saved her life, whether that's true or not. But and so it made me feel like I need to do more of that. Nobody else is really doing it much. I mean, there's people, but we can always use more. It's a pandemic, it's a crisis. And so we'll see how it goes. I wanted to kind of explain how easy it is for kids to get hooked on it. So a lot of kids don't think much of it. And I know I can defend these kids or these people even. The doctors aren't honest with them. They get on them and they're great for your pain. But what I realized is so's Tylenol and Advil. The pain pills give you somewhat of a euphoric feeling, kind of makes you almost forget about it because you feel so much kind of good. But what it also does is it's blocking your serotonin, your dopamine. Those chemicals are being blocked by the chemicals in the pill. But they're replacing your happinesses with the euphoric. That's why people keep taking them. But it gets to a point where you don't want to take them anymore, but now your body's used to them. And I tell you what, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy to go through withdrawals. And doctors and therapists and counselors, if they haven't been through it, they can teach it all they want. They don't know that feeling as well. To have gone through it, you know just how evil they are. They're just evil. They are evil. And I'm not going to knock people that take them because it's not saying you're some junkie, but I think some people probably would love to get off them. Even people that are just taking them legally. They kind of almost take control of your life and then you don't have much but that, and I think we can do better. And sometimes people just need someone, right? So maybe you guys would support something like that, because I'm not doing any good trying to help people that aren't, I can't expect people to charge, spend money. when it's more about them than it is about me. I'm not tired. I'm worried about money right now. But I just want people to understand what pandemic it is. I don't think we take it serious enough. I mean, I know, not to get political here, but I know there's a half of the country, it seems like, takes it serious and half the country don't. Well, I got news for you. It's killing twice as many people as handguns and car crashes combined. That's how serious it is. And it's unnecessary. People worry about guns and all that good stuff. Well, guess what? The guns aren't coming close to killing as many as all these opiates, and especially even more since the fentanyl came over here. I don't even know if you guys are familiar with local band from here, like named Slipknot, heavy metal band. Well, they're local from here. I love them. I used to not like them, but I love them now. The bass player overdosed on it in like 10, 12, 15 years ago. And it was a big deal. That's the first time I'd ever heard of fentanyl. And now it's grown and grown and grown. And it's literally so strong and potent, it don't take much to kill somebody. And I've heard it's even coming in all the other drugs that come over the border. You know, I know I shouldn't talk about this online, but I don't think I'm doing anything hurt to anybody, but it's a problem, folks. And we need to get a grip, and we need to get on our kids. We need to just keep, because it can happen to the richest kids in the world. It has no prejudice. So, but we're going to talk more here in a few minutes. Give me a couple minutes. We're going to deep in a little bit more and I guess talk about the nonprofit too. See you soon. Oh, welcome back. My screen was blank for a minute, scared me. So, and I'd love to do a show here where if anybody had any questions, I would love to answer some questions for you. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I've got plenty of experience in this. It's a passion near and dear to my heart. Not everybody, I know there's people out there that care. And I mean, I'm saying mostly just like, I mean, I have other things. Some of my pet peeves are mostly, I'll just say it, obviously domestic violence and, you know, anything to do with kids. So I wanted to get to the point where some people aren't taking this, you know, it's kind of this border thing very serious, but what comes over that border, guns for one, which we all know there's a lot of people that are tired of those killing people. And then they got the fentanyl, unaliving people, I should say. And then this, the kids itself. And I've never in my life cared about politics much until the last few years, like a lot of people. And it's always been fun arguing back and forth, kind of just messing around. Well, it's gotten a lot worse now. This isn't fun anymore. We got people just not getting along. People disowned each other. Families disowned each other. And that bothers me. It really does. I'm one of the kindest, most humble people in the world, but I don't appreciate people that are disrespectful. Causes me to be a person I'm not wanting to be. But that's what I'm talking about. I'm reaching out to everybody just to, we can do better as a society. I know we can. But if nobody brings it up or talks about it, it just continues the cycle. But I think we all can agree, whatever party you lean towards, everybody cares about the kids, right? So that means fixing the problem that's harming our kids. And that's drugs, guns, bad people. But it all starts with getting a little bit more control over all of our borders, for that matter. It's not about my future, not about your future if you're my age. This is about the kids in our future civilization. Kids are completely blind to this stuff, a lot of them. And I don't know how to wake them up because high school and college ain't helping. So any chance you can get to just be informative to your kids about drugs and about pills, period. Maybe not be so strict about other things. Make sure you're strict about that, because kids, they like to experiment. Kids like to think, too much time on their hands a lot of times. Both parents working, kids got a free reign. And Gen X, we could be the first. We could teach a lot of people stuff just because of our days as a child. In our young days, we had it. We were crazy. Good crazy sometimes, though. But we were. The old saying is, I've heard this a few times: if you're a Gen X, you're a survivor. And I mean, you pretty much ended up 3 categories. You either went to military, went to prison, or went to drug treatment. And if you didn't have to do either any of those people or any of those things, you're lucky. And you're kind of that's somebody you want to be friends with if they survived. You're a survivor, man. I laugh about it, but I find it to be so true. But then I look at some of the things that kids are dealing with now. I mean, social media is brutal. I mean, we adults even go through that. I can't even imagine having to go through high school with social media. People, there's a lot of haters in the world. I hope people can get better here soon. I don't know what they got to do. I'm not saying I'm innocent, but I could do better, but I do try every day to do better. But there's some people that just won't do it. They don't get it. And here's the thing. I've learned this. Kids pick up on everything we do. Everything. They could be 3 years old. They may not remember it when they're 7. But something they'll always have it, and something will trigger it, bring it out. There's this article I read about babies. When they're born, they automatically have deep, deep love for their mother and father. And if the kid gets off track, maybe it turns into a bad kid, or he's just always getting in trouble. Maybe he ends up in a gang or something someday. Something happened to him when he was little that hurt him so bad that he has trouble trusting. And so it's like he's searching for that person he can trust. Because if a baby's hurt or something happens to them when they're young, something breaks, and they don't trust, whether it's both parents or just one or whatever the case may be, then we know there's a lot of divorces. I'm preaching like I was divorced too. I'm not acting like I'm any better than anybody, but I could have done better. I could have fought harder to save my marriage. But I think people staying married is such an important thing for kids, because a lot of people get married for the wrong reasons. I could preach all day on this. I'm sounding like an old dude now, but like just with the pregnancies, and sometimes people get forced themselves to get married because someone got pregnant, or it's not even talking about the abortions. We won't get into that subject, but people could just be a little wiser. But I think parents talk to their kids a little bit better, maybe earlier, like I should have. We wouldn't have as many problems. Maybe I think we, as parents, could be not oblivious, but not aware of certain things. My mom was on it, but I was too good a liar. No, I say that because my mom was on it. For being an old lady, she was on it. She was an old mom. Dad wasn't around much. He was working so much. But as parents, I think we're a lot more important, even if they're telling you they're not. I mean, there's been times I thought my daughter was good, and then maybe she wasn't so good. And talk to her. I hope it was soon enough. But know what your kids are doing. I would never condone searching phones, but this day and age, I might think it's not such a bad idea. Because promise you, somebody is watching them on that phone. It's unfortunate. Hopefully that stops soon too. But biggest thing is fentanyl. People don't take much to die from fentanyl. I have numerous friends that didn't die, but they sure came close, because the pills are harder to get once you get hooked. They turn to heroin. It's cheaper. It's easily accessible. And it's all coming from the border, guys. So as much as I have love for the Hispanic people, I really think we need to try to get that done properly. Just so we know what's coming here and what's not. That way we can shore up the border and shore up all the drugs and guns coming here. That's what we just need to do, shore up the border. I hope everybody can agree with that. It has nothing to do with who it is. It's how many people there are and what they're bringing with them. And some are just perfectly good people. It's unfortunate, the bad people, just like us guys, we get labeled as bad all the time. Not all of us. A blanket statement. Not all the people coming over the border are bad, but there's quite a few that aren't so good. I'll promise you that. So hopefully you can follow along. I'm going to be trying to do it either on my website, which is www.causeitseazy.com, CUZITSEazy, or maybe even TikTok. You can find it. Just Coach Easy. Just easy. But I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to also give it. We're going to talk to some of these people, but that'll be probably a few weeks down the road. But I'm just getting started, so bear with me. Would love the support. And I'm thinking next week I might have the other person come on with me. Just talk about some of her experiences. And you got to have the heart to do it. I know you just can't jump in there and do it. And I've had the same heart all my life. It's hindered me sometimes, but once I use it for good, if I have something to use it for good, I'm good. So all you opiate people, no offense. It's not your fault if you're on them and you're fine with it. I'm talking about the people that are doing it illegal and they don't want to be on it. So I hope people get that. You got to empower yourself to be able to have the courage to quit stuff or to not do things. Because if you're not strong, you tend to get talked into things. So empower yourself. Keep watching me and I'm going to be helping you do that soon. For the most part. I hope somebody got out something out of that. I didn't give you a lot of details because it's not really something you need details for. It's a fact. It's all over. 300 kids, 300 people, but a lot of kids are doing it too. Just unaliving every day. It'd be such a big world, we don't see it. But all right, guys, I got that's about it for right now. My time is almost up. I wish everybody love and God bless every single one of you. I hope everybody has a good evening. I hope good rest of your week. Wait, keep track of me. I'll be back. Love everybody. Take care. You have been listening to the 'Cause It's Easy Show with me, Coach Easy. Empowered empath, empowering mindsets, and building confidence through adversities. Tune in every Tuesday at 3:30 Pacific, 5:30 Central Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com, where I, Coach Easy, will show you the easy way to make your life simple, abundant, and amazing. No matter what you have experienced in your life, you can feel positive, confident, learn to laugh, and have fun again. For more information on the 'Cause It's Easy approach, visit CauseIt'sEaZy.com. 'Cause, C-U-Z, it's easy, EaZy.com.